finished reading Will Grayson, Will Grayson, and just finished binge-watching every single Vlogbrothers video there ever was at the time, that she would be in the same room as John Green, she would have jumped up and down with an energy I no longer have. But now, over the last 9 years, this has happened multiple times. I have been in the same room as John Green during his book tour for Turtles All the Way Down, during his brother's book tour, during VidCon, that one time I got to go, during NerdCon Nerdfighteria, and NerdCon Stories. And a few weeks ago at a movie theater in downtown Manhattan, where I got to see the first episode of the new Looking for Alaska miniseries, and then John Green, along with the cast and writers of the series, came out and did a panel. Except until today, I didn't classify those times as times I was in the same room as John Green. Instead, they were times I didn't get to meet John Green. Don't worry, I now realize how obnoxiously privileged this sounds. But when you're a fan of something, that's how it is. And I've spent so much time with this man without his knowledge, reading his words on a page, watching his videos, listening to his voice with his podcasts. I know so much about the interior of this man, and his actions have so directly influenced my own life that even though I was incredibly grateful for these experiences, I was still a little bitter that I didn't get to talk to him one-on-one, face-to-face, maybe get a selfie with him. And that day, I had multiple almosts with meeting John Green. I stood in line after the panel where he was taking selfies with everyone else, hoping to get a moment, but he had something else to do and was led away. But as it turns out, he had to go towards the exit, the same place I was going. I ended up walking directly behind him for a long 3 minutes as we walked through that tiny dark hallway towards the theater exit. Maybe I could have tapped him on the shoulder and said hi, but a few things stopped me. 1, John Green is a very tall man. I am only 5'3" and have back problems. Tapping him on the shoulder would have led to some serious leaping motions that I would have regretted the next day when I tried to get out of bed. 2, he had somewhere he needed to be. As much as he tried to see everyone he could, it was very clear that his people needed him to get things done. And 3, and I think this is the most important one, I had seen his hands during the panel. He was worrying the skin around his fingers, and he was holding the microphone as if it were a piece of candy wrapper, and he was discreetly looking for a place to throw it out. And later, I heard him say it out loud. I'm nervous. He said it with a laugh, as if it were a joke we were all in on, but it wasn't. And my mind was slammed in 2 directions. 1, because of all of the knowledge I had shamelessly accrued over the last 9 years about John Green's life, where all of the times, in jest or seriously, John Green has discussed his discomfort in public situations and meeting new people and his mental health issues. And 2, my own mental health issues. How much I hate meeting new people and being put in potentially uncomfortable situations. This would have been a very uncomfortable situation. So when we escaped from that dark hallway to the vast and bright space that was the theater lobby, my hope was lost. But as I waited for my cousin to finish using the restroom, there he was, John Green, taking a video for the company's social media account. And I thought, well, this is a less uncomfortable situation. There we both were, out in the open, and I had to wait anyway. So I waited for him to finish his short social media post and hoped he would turn around afterward to say hi. Unfortunately, a lovely nerdfighter from Charlotte and I accidentally photobombed that social media post, and he covered us with books. So at this point, I was pretty embarrassed, and I knew that my hopes of meeting John Green were pretty much shot. We still waited for a few moments to see if he would turn around and greet us, but it would have mostly been an apology from me. But he didn't, and as I turned away to meet my cousin and go home, I realized, just as he had probably had enough social interaction for the day, I had enough of John Green. John gives us nerdfighters so much of himself. He's on my screen once a week for Vlogbrothers, in my ears during Dear Hank and John and the Anthropocene Reviewed, and he's poured his heart and soul into incredible novels that he makes such an effort to sign as many copies as possible. And every so often he's in the same room as me, speaking eloquently and passionately about things we both care about. And he doesn't need me pestering him for autographs and selfies just because I want to please some past version of myself. He's just a man who worries the skin around his fingernails just like I do, and a man who is anxious in these types of situations the same way I am. So I left the theater. I went and bought some books by other authors that I love. I had some amazing mango cheesecake, and then I went home. And so, those were the times I was in the same room as John Green, and that was enough. Special thanks to Carl Raymond, Jay Patel, John E. Norum, and Untapped Inkwell for being my patrons. If you would like to support my video work, head on over to my Patreon and check out the perks.